please give it up for Simmone Park, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you guys so much. I'm Simmone Park, and Park is actually the last name of about 16.2% of all Korean people worldwide. Only 0.96% of whom can successfully park a car. So yes, I am Korean, and I know what you're thinking. Which one is she from? Hopefully the good one. Yeah, I'm so Korean. I'm actually half North Korean and half South Korean. Yes, I'm the whole peninsula, baby. Yes. I had a pretty rough childhood. My parents were always fighting. I was always the DMZ. So for those who don't know, took a second, didn't it? For those who don't know, the DMZ is actually the thin strip of land that separates North Korea from South Korea. So if you think about it, the DMZ is really the taint of Korea. Because it taints the a-hole. Because it separates the Kim Jong anus from the good parts. Right? Yeah. I was often very confused growing up. So my father, who was born in the North, where people die of starvation every single day, would say, "Finish all the food on your plate." My mother, who was born in the South, where women average 100 pounds, would put me on water-only diets and say, "Stop eating, you're so fat. Your bone's so big, so gross." Clearly, my mother is neither a black nor Latino man. I was like, "Ma, I'm fighting racism here." Yeah. So my father taught me how to be resourceful and enterprising. He was like, "You can be anything you want to be. A doctor, a lawyer, an engineer even." My mother was like, "Lose weight and get pretty so you can marry a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer even." I remember my mom gave me this very expensive face cream, but it burned my skin. And when I looked into it, I realized it was a whitening skin cream that had bleach in it. I stopped using it immediately, but my enterprising nature found another use for it. You guys should see my Kim Jong anus. So I watched my father, who would start and run all kinds of businesses, from bodegas to dry cleaners. And because of that, I actually wound up starting my own business. Yeah, at 14 years old, I was illegally buying alcohol with a fake ID. I mean, the white cashiers just couldn't tell us apart, you know? I was 14, but I could have been 40. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. It does go both ways. So, Asian women don't age until we friggin' age. And it's like, we're pretty, we have no wrinkles, we have no gray hair, then all of a sudden, without warning, bam, we're a short, fat, hideous, toothless beast with a perm. And since I don't know how much time I have left, I've been putting myself out there into the dating world. Yeah. Which is, well, let's not even go there. So, I went on a date with this one guy who shall not be named, Brian. He was the first Jewish guy I ever dated, which is amazing because personally, I love knowing exactly what a D is gonna look like before I get to it. Whew. And ladies, let me tell you, it was a beautiful D. Chosen people indeed. Shalom. So, we went to, okay, people really like that. Let's let that simmer for a sec. So we went to a Korean restaurant. We sat down and we ordered. And as the waitress was walking away, I was like, "Oh, hold on a sec. Brian, do you need a fork?" No, Brian doesn't need a fork. He's so good with these chopsticks, He's like Mr. Miyagi picking flies good. So I was like, I don't know if this guy has like an Asian fetish or yellow fever or if he's just too smart for his own good. Because then he tries the kimchi and he starts going, 2 more days of fermentation and this kimchi will be perfection. I was like, okay. Then he asked me, so Simmone, how is your Korean? And I said, well, White Brian. You know, Korean's a really difficult language, but I hope to learn it one day. And he says, really? Because Kim Sejong in the 15th century created Hangul specifically because most Koreans were illiterate. So it's actually one of the easiest languages in the world to learn. I'm sorry, are we on Korean Jeopardy right now? Did this guy Google all of this stuff before coming on the date with me? I was so annoyed after this date, I immediately went home and downloaded Rosetta Stone for Korean. Now, Rosetta Stone is a language program where you have to repeat exactly what they say to progress to the next level. And I don't care what Brian says, Korean is a really difficult language. So the word I have to learn is laptop computer, which in Korean is laptop computer. I got this. So I was like, laptop computer. Wrong. I was like, okay. Laptop computer. Wrong. And now I'm starting to get a little pissed off, right? So as a final, screw you, Rosetta Stone, before I punt my laptop computer out the window, I was like, fine. Laptop computer! Bring, progressed to the next level. Now, the next word that I had to learn was television, which in Korean is television. Pretty sure Rosetta Stone is a flippin' racist, and you guys have been amazing. I'm Simmone Park. Thank you so much.
Very funny.